So we've created our first section header, and now we want to add a video file. These are video files that you've collected on site. So you've carried out a survey, you've saved your video files to a memory stick, you brought them back to the office, or you're doing it live on site right after the survey, whichever way you work. This also works with live as well, exactly the same process. You just need to connect your camera control unit to Viewline using some kind of video capture device, which we do supply. So fairly straightforward stuff and exactly the same process. But in this case, we are going to navigate to where we've saved our video file. So we go here, click on open. This particular video is going to be here. So I've got my Viewline example file. I open up that. Okay, and now I can see it in the video window. And now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to play this video, and we are looking for observations to make. So let's do that fairly simply. So we play, maybe hover over the pause button, and up ahead there I can see what looks like maybe some form of displacement. So the guys have sailed right past it. Be nice if your chaps were kind of looking for this type of defect. So we can go back now, and it's not going to be very clean, but this is just an example. Okay, so that is displaced, not quite medium to be honest with you, but we'll treat it as a joint displaced medium. Might affect the flow. So it's not the best of images. I don't know if I can just squeeze that on a little bit further. Yeah, not so good. So you can kind of mess around with stuff a little bit. Maybe we can get back there. Let's play that. Let's see if we can get this. Well, that's not bad. I mean, we're way off it at the moment, but there's a decent image to grab. So, okay, so we've got that. First thing we want to do is maybe make a new observation. So click on new observation, and the observation input panel comes up. Number of ways of selecting observations or defects. You could just type in, as you can see here. You could select, you could scroll through and look for the appropriate defect. In this case, I'm going to try typing in J, and then we've got some options there, D, M. Yeah, on the basis of joint displaced medium. We take the position. So in this one, it's 0.4 meters, and that's all we really need. We don't need anything else for that defect. In fact, we can't add anything else because that's all that defect requires. So Viewline does do that. Okay, so we're working to WRC standards or MSCC 5. So whenever we see something, there are attributes that are required to any particular defect. A joint displaced medium just requires the position. So we'll save that. Okay, and we can see that here now selected, and we can capture an image. There you go. So that image will come into the report. You can see whenever we capture an image, it's ticked. Yep, and the video's ticked there. This other information, okay, is you have to have a start node reference. You have to have a finish node reference, but we don't know where that distance is at the moment. That's why that's this kind of orange color. And at the beginning of every survey, you should supply a water level, even if it's dry. So we just put it at 0%. Okay, so we've done that one. We'll look for another defect. And if we can't find one, we'll just make one up. So yeah, it's all looking not too bad. I can see something up ahead though, which is probably some kind of soft blockage. So when we get there, we could maybe go, right, okay, we'll have that one. All right, so again, same process. Pause the video, go to new observation, click on that, observation input comes up. I'm going to call that an obstruction, and the code for obstruction is OB. Okay, it's at 1.9 meters, 1.9 meters, and in the case of a obstruction, the requirement is the percentage loss of the cross-sectional area. So looking at that, let's say 50%. Should be in increments of 5. Yeah, so we do that and we can save that. Okay, and we can add another image of it as well. Yeah, so let's capture that image. Okay, and that's that. Now, looking at what's going on, I think this survey is going to finish now. They can't get past that. So just going back to that, we could just finish off the survey. So now we go into this, double click this one. Let me just change the finish position to say whatever it is, 2 meters in that particular case. You can add information. Let's say, for example, that's not finishing at a manhole. We never made it to the manhole. So we possibly want to put in survey abandoned. Okay, so we click in S or type in S. We get SA for survey abandoned. And we can make a comment now. Why? You need to. So if you are abandoning for whatever reason, you need to make a comment. So let's say unable to continue. Okay, and Viewline will automatically DRB grade that line based on the most severe defects. So at the moment this has got a grade B. Okay, which basically means it's not good and it's not bad to the point where it necessarily needs remedial works. It's in that grey area in between. So this is down to your expertise and maybe a conversation with your customer. You make a decision based on that. So we're going to save that one now. Okay, and that survey is complete now. We can kind of go back through it. And yeah, okay, and as you can see, the severity is already put in for you. Okay, so we automate that particular process, and that is the process. And if we wanted to create another survey, then we just click on new section, and all the information should remain the same. Okay, so if we need to change, let's say now we're doing a surface water line, we now do that. Oh, I haven't done the start and stop yet, so it's warning me you need that information. So let's call this MHS1 going to MHS2. Let's say everything is terrible. Yeah, let's say that, the cover is missing, the benching is inadequate, and the channel is poor. So we save that. I'm going to navigate to another video file. So okay, it remembers the last place I went to, which is kind of handy. So let's just grab another one. Let's grab this one here, put that one in. Okay, and we'll quickly go through this one. Looks pretty good, to be honest with you. So we're coming up to what looks very much to me like a rest bend. So okay, so you can put that in. There isn't a specific code for a rest bend, but you could put the line up code in. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, so line up LU, and it's full, so that means 90 degrees. Half is 45, quarter is 22.5 degrees. So yeah, we'll have that one. Thank you. And what's the distance? 0.6. So 0.6 meters. I could put in soil vent pipe. I think that's what's going on here. So just put that in. whoops, soil vent pipe, and save. Okay, and that's probably the end of the survey. Let's quickly see what happens here. Oh, I didn't take a picture. Okay, well, they're going to pull back a bit. Oh, they're trying to go up the soil vent pipe. Okay. So, oh, and yeah. Come on, come back a little bit. There, okay. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so let's take that picture, eh? So, capture. Lovely, got it. Okay, and again, this survey is finished. It's not survey abandoned. In this particular case, it did finish at that point. We're not going any further. We didn't finish at a manhole. So what we could do is go into there, double click, and SVP is not a finish node. Okay, so we could look for something suitable. So we could maybe use, what could we use here? Not survey abandoned, none of those really. It's not a gully, it's not a catch pit, it's not a major connection, it's not a buck and trap. So we haven't got that. It's not part of the coding system. So we'll have to call it, what a lot of people call it is a other special chamber. Doesn't really describe it, I know, but we'll do that. We'll call that SVP, and the distance is 0.6, so we'll have that. We'll save that. There's nothing wrong with this line, so it's a grade A at the moment, so we can save that. Okay, so we've got MH going to OCF now. And just to check on the header information, that will still say S2. I didn't realize the survey was going to finish there, so I'm actually going to put in, well, actually I'll put in soil vent pipe. Okay, so this is kind of quite common on domestic properties. So, you know, this is going to be common eventuality really. So if you know you're going to an SVP, just put that in there. Save that. All right, that's done. So that's the end of that, and so on and so forth. You just add sections, add observations. So add the section, add the video, add your observations, and so on and so forth. Next, we'll look at the report output based on the information we put in so far.